Hello, I'm Harmeet Kaur, member of Creating Value Alliance and your host for the series. Creating Value Alliance is a forum to benefit executives, leaders, and their companies to grow professionally by creating greater value for their customers and their companies. Some of the broad objectives of this forum are sensitize businesses on value, help businesses from outside in perspective of employee and customer value, and to help them implement customer focus and customer value. Create knowledge base of concept notes, articles, case studies, etc. on creating value and customer focus. Introduce value creation metrics and measurement tools. Conduct pan-India and global roundtables, seminars, and workshops on creating value. Recognize value creation leaders and felicitate them with the Customer Value Alliance trophies and honors. Today, as we start our first web series on value creation, I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Gautam Mahajan, the founder of Creating Value Alliance and Customer Value Foundation, and the world leader in creating value. He has chaired all the conferences, creating value conferences in the UK, New York, Paris, Japan, and virtually. He's an inventor and worked for a Fortune 50 company in the US before becoming a consultant and a value creator. Let's hear his thoughts and practical advice on value creation. Welcome, Mr. Gautam Mahajan, to your very own web series on value creation.
Okay, thank you, Hamid. Uh,
So let's start with understanding what is value creation.
so, value creation is all about doing good and improving the well-being of people for everyone. That's the short form of it. In a longer sense, value creation is doing good and improving the well-being of companies, of people, of yourself, your family, your society, your government, and so on. And from a business point of view, value creation is creating a value for the business and is also improving the worth of the product or the company or the people in the company. So if you want to improve the worth, which is the value that the company is creating, you need to actually look at the kinds of things that people get from you as a company. They get a benefit and they have to pay something for that benefit, and they pay with not only cash or credit card, but also with the effort in buying, the effort in using, the time it takes to deal with a product and work with it, and so on and so forth. So, if you're creating value, you're essentially doing good for your company also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Creating worth of the company is a huge kind of objective that every company, when every business that starts with, should also continue that value. So, why are you passionate about it? I mean, it's been decades and decades that you have been preaching and practicing. So, where does this passion come from?
So when I was working in the US for a Fortune 50 company, our customers loved us, and they loved us because we did all of the right things for the customers. We took care of all of their problems. We took care of helping them with selling and all kinds of things. But we didn't know that what we were creating was customer value. And when I came back to India, I realized that we've been doing so much of this, and we need to do more of creating value and creating customer value. And I got in touch with Ray Cordaplesti, who was the founder of the idea of creating value. And we started to do a lot of work all over the world. And then I realized that what we were doing was not enough, that if you really wanted to create value, you needed to create value for all the people around you, and you needed to create value for all stakeholders. And so, rather than just talk about customer value, we
Mm,
decided to work on value creation. And I'll just show you uh, the journal of value creation that has Phil Kotler and Jack Shade and all kinds of people on our board. And the other reasons that I'm passionate about value is because I realized it is the role of an executive. Successful people are value creators and known to be value creators. They create value, unfortunately, unconsciously, and could be
mm,
destroying value unconsciously. Knowing that their role is to create value, they become conscious about it and will create more value and destroy less value. And
absolutely.
I'm passionate that people around the world start becoming value creators and teaching value creation and learning about value creation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have uh, so you mentioned that it applies everywhere, for everyone. In our probably in our daily acts, we can start with value creation and how it moves
Yeah.
to becoming consciously aware that how do I, as an executive, I practice value. If you can throw some more light that how does it apply to business, uh, in
So
some more detail?
before that, Hamid, I just want to repeat, value creation applies to you and your family. It applies to your community. It applies to businesses and governments.
Yes.
Do remember, if you wish to create value for yourself, you must first create value for others who will come back and create more value for you. So, more value is created for you when you create value for others. And you will see this when I start talking about business.
Sure.
How it applies to business. In 2019, the Business Roundtable, which is the association of the leading CEOs in the US, like Tim Cook and Jeff Bezos and people like that, and there are over 300 of them. They have said that the role of a business is to create value for all stakeholders and not just for shareholders, which is what Milton Friedman had said about 50 years ago. What the Business Roundtable said in 2019 was echoed by Davos in 2020. Companies have to start offering a service or a product that creates value for the customer. The customer receives this product or service and perceives the value that he is receiving. By buying the product or recommending it to others, he or she creates value for the company. The company receives this value and perceives this in its own way. If this value that the company perceives is greater than the value it perceived and created for the customer, then a profit of sorts is created. So the process starts with the company. It offers value to a customer. The customer, by buying it or doing recommending it, creates value for the company. And if the company perceives that it's getting more value than what it created, then there is a profit. To learn more, you need to join the Creating Value Alliance, and the website is creatingvalue.co.
Yeah, very well connected. In fact, recently, last week, I was addressing a question that uh, how does a business get ready for funding? And my reply was that the customer is your first investor. If you look at that investor, I think automatically you get ready for the investors where they come to you than you going and fetching out investment. And that brings the in totality that we should not just look at the shareholders, as you mentioned, it should look at the stakeholders and where all the people involved in building and creating the business can value should be created by all of them and for all of them. So today, what the key words that we looked into is value creation, customer focus, the worth of the business. So businesses should, when they start, they should keep in mind that how do I create worth? And then how do I continue to creating worth for all the stakeholders? And very well explained by Mr. Gautam Mahajan on the what happened at the conference and how it was taken and accepted that customer is your primary focus. So more we will talk about it in our following series, and more questions will be answered, more thoughts will be shared. And as we sign off, I invite you and your company to join our forum, contribute your ideas, best practices, and knowledge to help generate a groundswell of value creation across the globe. More information is available on our website, creatingvalue.co. See you in our next series. Thank you for
Thank you.
watching us.
Thank